Hey everyone, I'm back with another episode of my Lectric XP. Now it's 2020, it's March. Last time I had this video was November 11th, 2019. That was Veterans Day. And then it gets colder in Northeast. I pretty much stopped riding it. The last time I rode, I think was about December, and one of the day when it was warm, I completely turned the system off. I fully charged the battery, just leave everything in the garage and never touch it. This is the first time in 2020 I have the bike outside the garage. What I want to show is a couple of things. First, what's the battery leakage. So even if the battery is charged, it's sort of internally connected somehow, and there's leakage happening. I want to see how bad it is. Last winter has really been mild. The garage was never too cold, so the weather is probably not a big issue. It's just leaving the battery there for a long period of time, then how much battery drain it can create. Before I store my bike, I fully charged. When the battery is fully charged, the voltage is showing 54.7 volts. Everybody should see pretty much the same voltage. Now let's turn it on and see what happens with the voltage. All right, it's turning on. I have 387 miles, as you can see. Indicator is full. 53.2, 53.1. It's hovering around that number. So the battery dropped about 1.6 volts over a 3-month period of time. That's not too bad. It's a little over 10%, given that for almost a 3-month period of time with a battery drop of 10%. 10% will translate to like a 2 to 3 miles of range. It's definitely acceptable. Hopefully this is the case you're seeing. If you haven't been riding your bike for a long period of time, leave a comment there, and let us know your experience as well. The other thing I did is, as you can see, my phone now has a battery attached to it. I probably this battery is a little bit too big, or the bag is too small. I got to change that, and I have a cable connect to it. I find this cable is really useful. This is actually not a standard Apple cable. It's a magnet cable. It means the connector, it's actually a magnet. Here I don't need to pull it out, so you can just break it. You see the indicator is green. This is the other part of the connector. And there's magnets in between, and you just get too closer, then it will connect and it will start charging right away. So I find this is pretty useful, especially when they're riding bicycle. You could accidentally touch the cable if you don't want to break the port. This is definitely the option. I had this cable for a long period of time, just never find a use for it. Now it seems like this is a good place for it. The other thing I have is, in December when I was riding my bicycle, I noticed that the pedal, once it's in a certain angle, it's hard to illustrate here, but it only happens when I ride bicycle. No matter how light I push the pedal, at a certain angle, there's always a clicking sound. It's not bad. It's difficult to illustrate here, but it's kind of annoying. So I talked to one of the bike specialists here. That's a friend of mine. He said, "Oh, it's possible there's a ball bearing in the crankset. One of the ball is most likely broken, or damaged. So because the position of that." Then it can create this clicking sound only at certain position. It's always at that place. Over time, it should get better. But this sort of thing illustrates how bad. The quality of this bike, not necessarily how bad, but this is sort of the quality of the bike. Given that you're paying $900 for a bike, others or for the same kind of bike charges over $1,000. It's kind of accepted. The quality is definitely not top notch. So what I did is I also connected with Lectric customer service, let them know my situation. They were actually very helpful. They said, we're going to send you a new crankset. That happens back in December or end of the year. Within like 2 days, they replied my email. They sent me a new crankset with a pedal. Let me show you where that is. I left it in the garage. It's right here. So this is one of the pedal. This is the crankset. I just need, if I'm not too crazy or I can't even tolerate the noise, I will somehow replace the crankset. It's probably a bit difficult for me to do because I don't have a bike stand. I'll try to figure out something I can do. Let's go back to the bike. As you see, there's a lot of dirt here on the bike. Other than that, everything's fine. I checked the tire pressure. There's no drop in pressure, so this is actually pretty good. This is an indication of the tire. It's solid. It was never fully inflated. It's about 16 to 17 psi for both front and the back. And this is it. Now it's March. It's daylight saving time. It gets warmer, but here it's still cold. Like right now, it looks sunny. If you look outside, it's beautiful, but it's only 52 degrees. I'm gonna ride this bike a little bit. Probably won't be too long. Otherwise, there's a little bit of wind. Now there's this coronavirus. People are concerned about public communication. If you have an e-bike and your travel distance is not too far away, this might be a good option too. This bike fully charged can go, for me, can easily go 25 miles. There's still 30% left. So if your round trip is less than that, or even one way is about 20 miles, but somehow you can find a way to charge in the office, this is a good option. So get separated from people and stay away from public transportation. It's definitely the option. Somehow you might be, it's an option people can think about it. The new year, because this bike, I'm sure it's made in China. Given the situation in China, the manufacture process is being disrupted, supply chains kind of stopped. I don't know if they're still selling this Lectric, or if they've got anything left from inventory last year. The new one, they shouldn't be coming to the US, at least not in the near future. That's what I know. I'll have a more video down the road when I ride more and share my experience with people. If you liked my video, please subscribe. I'll put more in the future on the YouTube. Thank you. Bye.